Okay, moving on to multiplying with decimals. You probably want to check out this catchy song that we have for you right up here, if you haven't already done so. But let's take a look at what we have to do when we deal with decimals. Think money and think of multiplying. Knowing where to put the decimal point is probably the trickiest part of multiplying with decimals. If you look here at this little information box here, it says, determine the placement of decimals in each product. Count the quantity of numbers to the right of the decimal of for each factor. Okay, so count the quantity to the right. So 5 and 809 thousandths has 3 numbers to the right. 7 and 8 tenths has 1 number to the right. Then you add the amounts together, and your answer should have the same quantity of numbers to the right of the decimal. So I'd add 3 plus 1, and get 4. So that is where it tells me to go from the end, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how I know where to put my decimal. It's also a good idea to round to know where to put your decimal. So if I'm going to round this whole number, it's going to round to 6. If I'm going to round this whole number, it's going to round to 8. And 6 times 8 is 48. So where am I going to put a number that's something close to 48? I know I have to put it there. But I also, again, I can count 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so that's what it has us practicing doing in this particular worksheet. I'm going to use the estimation strategy first, and then we'll check it with what we learned up here. So if you look at number 1, it says 2 times 5 and 26 hundredths. If I round 5 and 26 hundredths to 5, 2 times 5 is 10. So my answer should be about 10. I'm going to guess my answer should be there. Let's see. There's no decimal points in 2, so I don't worry about it. And in the 5, there are 2 numbers to the right of the decimal. That means I move it in 2 places from the right. Okay, let's try the next one. If I estimate this, it's going to be a 7 times 2. Well, 7 times 2 is 14. So I know my decimal point's probably going to go there. We can double check to make sure there's 1 decimal to the right, and here's 2 decimals to the right for a total of 3. So I go 1, 2, 3 decimal points to the right. Next one, we got the number 5 times 5 if we're going to round, or 5 times 6, which would be 30, which means my decimal point probably has to go there. But let's check. We got 3 numbers after the decimal, 2 numbers after the decimal, so 3 and 2 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is correct. A couple more here. Let's try this number, 9 and 77 hundredths would round to 10, and 5 and 4 tenths would round to 5. 5 times 10 would be 50. So I'm guessing my decimal will go there. But again, I check. There's 2 numbers after the decimal point. Here there's 1 number after the decimal point. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is correct. That's where I put my decimal. Let's try one more here together. If I'm going to round this number, I get 3. And I round this number and get 9. And 9 times 3 is 27. So the only number close to that would be probably putting my decimal point there. And I double check. There's 2 numbers after the decimal, 1 number after the decimal. 2 and 1 is 3, so I go from the end and I go 1, 2, 3. And that is, in fact, where I put my decimal point. Okay, I want you to try some of these on your own. The answers are not given on this particular one, but try using your estimation strategies and moving from the right in order to figure out where on earth I should put that decimal point.